We recently got to hear the news of Coup deciding to close their business. Now, this is a very tough time for the founders, for the team of Coup. You've put so much of energy, so much of time, right? Just your mental bandwidth, capital. And after all that effort, after spending, say, 18 hours a day thinking about the business, you finally have to take that very bold realization that this is not working and take that call. So, yes, it would be a very tough time for the team. Kudos to them for having tried something this hard. It was a tough business to go after. Having said that, there is a whole lot of analysis that is happening in the ecosystem on what could have been done differently. Did they take the wrong strategy? Was it the right product or not? And that will continue. I will not get into that. What I want to talk about is what is the takeaway that early stage founders can take from the journey of Coup. There are many. Here are two key takeaways that I have taken from Cou's journey. Number one, it is still very tough to get patient capital. Now, think about Ku. Ku had a celebrated founder, right? Upper Mein Radhakrishnan, he was the founder of Taxi for Sure. So, and great outcome for their investors. And if there was somebody who could have raised capital, it was Upper Mein. And they did. They raised $65 million, not a small amount, but then not enough if you are trying to build a large social media company. And that fact is not lost on anyone, that the fact that Indian VC ecosystem capital markets do not have the depth as of now. Now, we all hope that changes soon, but as of now, they just do not have the depth to back businesses over very long period of time while they are still building something meaningful. You look at the Silicon Valley ecosystem, you have all these social media businesses. You have businesses like Duolingo, a learning app that so many people love globally, but we don't realize the fact that for good 5 6 years, I think, if not longer, they did not focus on monetization at all, and they had the investors who were patient enough to give them a lot of capital to help them solve for what they wanted to solve. That is not the case in India as of now. So that's my first takeaway is, do not blindly take examples of what is happening in Silicon Valley and think that you can build a similar product in India with Indian capital, because that kind of capital probably does not exist. We all hope that changes, but for the while, that kind of capital does not exist in India. What is the second takeaway? In India, you have to be very mindful of going after customers who have the ability and the intent to pay. Let me double click on what I mean by that. Now, when you go to an average customer in say an advanced country like US or even in Europe, right, they have the ability and the intent to pay for a lot of things which we in India, even the affluent class is just not ready to pay for. Right. For example, we'll be happy to pay for food, right? But we just don't want to pay for digital content or apps. The question is, do customers really, do you, in your category, do you have customers who have the ability and the intent to pay? Are people paying for these kind of products or not? These are very important questions that you should ask before you jump in. So the two pieces: one, the patient capital is still not there, so be mindful of it. Second, if you are building a business in India, you have to be very, very careful and double check if your customer has the intent and the ability to pay for whatever you are building. Just the fact that you make a great product will not change the fact a customer who was not paying or was not trained to pay for your kind of product will suddenly start paying because the product is that good. It will change at some point. Somebody will kind of probably prove me wrong. But as a startup founder, I think we are here to improve our odds of success. So these are points that should be in your mind when you are taking key decisions for your startup.